entrance through the water, so I'm gonna be doing this. Feel a bit guilty for doing it. I think it's okay, I'm just gonna be doing something new. And see how this goes. But this is a great game. I was thinking about it today and I was thinking this is the perfect action RPG for me. You really feel your character all the time, no cutscenes. You always are yourself and feel yourself. Okay, gotta be careful here, there are some more rats here. Near the entrance. Try to go up this slope here. So I can get into the city, get into the safety of the city. Here, everything is dangerous in the beginning, so you just have to try and survive. I want to go into the safety of the city where the healer Vatras can every day. But you gotta be careful here with these bandits. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Did I die? The scavenger die? Yeah, I think I did. So I should go up here and fight that scavenger. Oh, scavengers are actually stronger than they were in the first Gothic. They now give you 70 experience, so I remember when going to that tavern, it's full of them, so there'll be at some point a good source of experience. But till then, I'm gonna kill you. So, yeah. See if we can get back on the slope here. The last time I tried to cross, that one rat was attacking me, so he is now. He's following me. And he left. I love how they have signals here. Just beautiful. Well, it's like you know everything based on the signals, based on what you hear, you know. So the rat got triggered now. He's following me. It's interesting how the game still lags. I'm playing on a GTX 1080 and the game still lags. This game will just never change. It's gonna be the same game you've played all your life. Okay. Save here. I've never done this before. Saw a video on it on YouTube yesterday, so apparently there's a way to get into the city from here, and the game rewards you for it. You're gonna meet Lares, who will tell you, hey, good job for sneaking into the city like that. Okay. It's nice that everything... That's too much. It's nice that everything is memorable here, so you will remember it. And if you just go into the city, you don't get anything. But if you go into the city and through here, you get the bonus experience of 500. And I wonder if the story changes, because if you're going through the city from the main gate, then the paladin Lothar is waiting for you to school you, and I think also some other people. And then now you're here. Jump on this wall. No, it's not working. I wonder if this is a Knight of the Raven only solution, because all those people are playing Knight of the Raven, and here I am, I'm playing Gothic Classic. So I'm playing it from my CD, or I think it's a DVD, like a box version. I'm not playing it with the Knight of the Raven expansion. It was okay as a story expansion, but it messed with the levels. Really don't appreciate that. Okay, so let's see here. Since it's Hellcraft, I don't even know if this is a mistake or it's intended by the developers, but since you get the line from Laris, it seems like it's intentional. Okay, and we just happen to stumble across the bandit there. He's the other foreigners. That's why the team seems like it's playing 30 frames, I think, so it's 60 now. But still, newer games don't have the genius of this game. Yeah, that's the way to feel. So engrossing, and the music is so relaxing, it's so mysterious, so immersive, and so nice that you can feel player, feel the names, it's more than everything. Okay, so for now, the story will change if you're a bit.
I must be crazy. What are you doing here? Did you swim here? That's one way to get past the guards at the city gate.
Hey, Laris, you old scoundrel, how did you get here?
Okay.
I was able to escape to the Valley of Mines just in time, together with Lee and some of the other boys. You remember Lee, don't you?
And I have a feeling of satisfaction, because I mean, so this is fine. I don't know what you would say. You just said, did you swim here? Okay. And that's one way to go past the guards at the main gate. So to mention the guard, his normal voice. And he clearly said out that it's one of the ways to get in. So yes, it works, it's official. And I feel really relaxed and accomplished for what I did. Really makes you feel good for your accomplishments.
Of course I remember Lee.
I got out of the colony with him then, just after the barrier was destroyed. He and his boys are now on the farm of Onar, the landowner. He made a deal with the farmer. He and his boys defend the farm, and Onar feeds them in return.
Why aren't you with Lee and his mercenaries?
But I am, just not on the farm. You could say I'm our outpost in the city. We don't want the ship to sail without us. Why did you come to the city?
I must talk to the paladins by any means.
What do you want from them?
They've got a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos. I must have it.
And you think they'll give it to you? You'll never get into the upper end of town.
I'll find a way somehow.
Sure, if you want to ingratiate yourself with the citizens or play errand boy for the militia.
Do I have a choice?
If I were you, I'd go to Onar's farm and talk to Lee. I'm sure we'll find a way to get you into the upper end of town.
Tell me more about the mercenaries.
Well, if you're as tough as you were back then, you shouldn't have any problems with them. Most of them are ruffians, and if you can't stand up to them, you won't get far. If you're squeamish, you don't have a chance of joining them.
What ship were you talking about?
It's on the open sea harbor, behind the cliffs. Lee and a few of his people really want to get away from here. But that could take a while.
Why?
You'd better ask Lee about that. If you meet him, he's got plans.
How do I find the landowner's farm?
I can take you there if you want. I've hung around here too long anyway. There's usually no militia here in the harbor, but I can't risk one of them getting suspicious.
Do you know why the paladins are here?
Nobody knows for sure. Lots of people think it's because of the orcs, but I think there's another reason. It probably has something to do with the old penal colony.
So much information. Alright, so I want to go to Gothic at some point to heal, or I can just find the lady who does fish soup and find the bed to sleep.
Can you teach me something?
Sure, if you want. I'll help you become more dexterous.
I want to become more dexterous.
I love this. So I gotta be careful for that guy. That guy's gonna attack me. So I just wanna go to the lady who sells fish, because I know she can give me a place to sleep and something to eat. So there's a lady here.
That's not what my husband
First
did.
place that I can get is
He's something who talks to you.
What are you cooking there?
Oh, fish soup. It's not all that tasty, but at least it's hot. You can try a plateful, if you like.
What can you tell me about the city?
Most citizens in this town are afraid of thieves. Therefore, it's not a good idea to enter strange houses. But if you're looking for a place to stay overnight, you're welcome to sleep in my hut. There's an extra bed that you can have.
Aren't you afraid of thieves?
The only valuable thing that I ever owned has already been taken. Oh, someone stole my statue of Enos.
Could you cook me some soup?
I cook for everybody. For you too, if you want. All you need to do is bring me a fish.
Could you cook me some soup?
Bring me a fish, and I'll cook you a tasty soup.
so I got a place to sleep, so just give me a place to sleep like that. Okay.
Could you cook me some soup?
Nothing could be simpler. Here, have a plate.
And this is one every day.
Could you cook me some soup?
No, not today. Come back tomorrow.
And this is better for all. I'm getting so much in Gothic too all over again. This is perfect RPG for me. It's nice that everyone has voices and they are cool voices and they impart interesting lore and you find secrets and you talk to them again and again and you get some okay, so this should be her house. I can sleep here. So now I'm safe. Go there and there are all those monsters on the outside, so you feel threatened and you want to be safe. You're fine. Need buckles and heal them. So I'll sleep here during the night. There's nothing to do at night anyway. No, at least I'm getting on some healing skills. And then gotta watch out for these guys.
You already know what I think. It can't go on like this forever. Really didn't deserve that. It's the first I've heard. I
Hey, you, wait. You look familiar to me.
What do you want?
I've seen your face before somewhere, right?
So Lothar is still there.
Here. We found this picture on some bandits we picked up a few days ago. It looks a lot like you. Apparently, those guys were looking for you.
Gee, I'd never have thought of that myself.
Very funny. What did those guys want from you?
Ask them yourself. You've got them safely locked up, haven't you?
No, they're dead.
I guess we'll never know then.
If you're in some kind of trouble, go talk to Lord Andre. Maybe he can help you. You'll find him in the barracks.
How's the situation?
At the moment, it's quiet. Only the bandits outside the city are causing us problems.
What do you know about the bandits?
They've all come from that blasted mining colony. But there are several splinter groups. Some are holed up in the mountains, and others have joined up with Onar, the landowner. But it's the bandits outside of town who cause the most problems. They're the reason that none of the merchants venture beyond the city gates now.
Second is so good. I like so much that he's talking like this blasted mining colony. I have no idea you come from there too. So this is a new world for you.
Where did the bandits who had my wanted poster come from?
We picked them up near the landowner's place, but they didn't look like Onar's people. I think they're part of a smaller group which is holed up in the mountains near Onar's farm. But if you intend to go there, let me warn you, those cutthroats make short work of everyone.
I'll remember that.
So nice how everything works, everything is coherent here. So they tell you how to get to Dexter, getting closer.
Adanas be with you.
Who are you?
I am Vatras, a servant of Adanas, the guardian of the divine and earthly equilibrium. What can I do for you?
Can you heal me?
Adanas, bless this body, free it of its wounds, and strengthen it with new life.
Oh, I love this. It just heals you.
Can you teach me something about magic?
Only the chosen of Innos and the chosen of Adanas are permitted to work rune magic. But common mortals can also work magic with the help of spell scrolls. I can show you how you can channel and expand your magic powers.
I want to increase my magic powers. I want to increase my magic powers.
What? Wow. Really? Why is mana more expensive than strength? What is this? This one not. Go past the garden. Hey, you know what? Hey, jokers, I just got in. Now they're not gonna stop me anymore. Nothing so. I really gotta watch out. The guy. The guy's gonna be on the bench.
Hey, you! Hey, you! How's it going?
Move along. I'm on duty.
So are they still gonna be stopping it? Let's see. So is this not the quest? Still gotta do the quest differently? So they're gonna stop me?
Halt!
Yes?
You look like a poor beggar. In this town, we have no use for people without money.
But I've got a pass.
That one's only good for the other gate.
But I'm planning to join the city guard.
Ha! Don't make me laugh. Go to the other gate and try and sell that story to them.
Okay, so they
I've already been there. They sent me to you.
Oh man, they're always sending us the cream of the crop.
Okay, so you still can get in. So you gotta. Okay, so now. So you still gotta go through that gate and they gotta let you in as a farmer or something. Oh, interesting. Let's talk to Lothar the other way around. It doesn't look like a bug because they said one of the ways to get in. You can get out anyone.
Halt, stranger. I didn't see you come through this gate.
Wow.
And?
And the guards on the other gate have orders not to let any unknown persons into the city.
Ah, the story does.
Well,
I shall have to have a word with those two. But now for us two. I am Lothar, paladin of the king and humble servant of Innos, your lord. Our commander, Lord Hagen, has entrusted me with the task of explaining to all newcomers the new laws which apply to all inhabitants of the city.
So is this here we go today?
all right. Explain the rules of the city to me.
First, the Honorable Paladin Lord Hagen resides in the upper quarter, along with his troops. That is why access to the upper quarter is allowed only to honorable citizens. Second, the town hall in the upper quarter is now the command post of the paladins. Only the paladins themselves and members of the militia have access to it. And third, whoever is accused of a crime must exonerate himself with the commander of the militia. Any questions?
Where can I spend the night here?
If you're looking for a place to sleep, go to the hotel directly across from the barracks. The paladins pay for the lodging of all travelers who come to the city.
Well, I can go
The
there.
traveling traders from the marketplace are also lodged there.
Can't go there because Cantor is there, so now when he's gonna meet me, he's gonna give me a deadline to put someone in prison, and I don't want to do that just yet, so I'm gonna just keep it up.
Where can I find the commander of the city guard?
Lord Andre can be found in the barracks at the other end of the city.
How do I become a citizen of the town?
Only those with regular jobs will be considered citizens of the town. But don't think that you'll be admitted to Lord Hagen just because you're a citizen of the town. As a citizen, you have access to the upper quarter, nothing more. Only as a member of the militia will you have access to the town hall.
Where can I find work?
You'll have to apply as an apprentice to one of the masters here in the lower part of the city.
Yes, I love this.
As soon as a master accepts you, you are a citizen of the town.
I love this.
However,
Becoming an apprentice
the other
here.
masters must agree to it. That's the custom here in Corinus. If you were thinking about looking for work in the Harbor District, forget it. The scum of the city live there. Don't even go there. You would regret it.
How do I get accepted into the militia?
By express command of Lord Hagen, only citizens of the town will be admitted into the militia.
I see.
If you want to know more, speak to Lord Andre in the barracks.
How do I get to the upper quarter?
Say, are you listening to me at all? You're not a citizen of this town. You can save yourself the trip. The guards won't let you in. The entire area behind the inner gate is off limits to you.
Okay.
I've got to go.
As long as you're in Corinus, you can feel safe. The king's paladins watch over this city now.
Wait a minute.
You can talk to Lord Andre about everything else.
Okay, well, I know he is go fast if you tell him you want to go see Lord Andre because of dragons. I think you're an idiot.
Hey, you!
Okay, so this doesn't let you in.
Halt! What you want this time?
The farmer sent me.
So, have you at least got a good reason for coming here this time?
I want to see the blacksmith to have some tools repaired.
Oh, and why didn't you say so right away?
I was just curious about how you'd react.
What? Try something like that with me again, and I'll show you how I react to that kind of thing, you stupid yokel. And if you see Lobart, you can tell him he should feed his sheep well. We're coming back to him shortly.
No, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna try to steal an animal here. Okay, very nice. Now the story changed here with Lares, and also with Lothar. That will also change Lothar. Very interesting. I didn't see you coming through here. And they don't let you in through here, and the others don't let you in either, so yeah, just swam. Okay. Let's see if I can get in here and steal the better armor. Have leather armor at level 2. It would take a lot to get that armor. Secrets. So this game is just littered with secrets everywhere. Actually find it's really interesting to find it. And, I played it several times, the classic version, one time the Night of the Raven, and several times I just restarted it, but I didn't know about these things. Apparently there are a lot more. A lot more things. Way to climb in. Just climb on this. That's all right.
I know nothing about picking locks. I know nothing about picking locks.
That's not what I heard. These are bad times.
Ah, fresh face. You're not from Corinus, are you? This is not a good time for travelers. Bandits everywhere, no work, and now the farmers have risen up too. What winds have blown you here?
I'm looking for work.
Do you know anything about carpentry?
The only thing I can make out of wood is a fire.
And what about locks?
Well...
I'm sorry, but I can't use you if you know nothing about my trade. And I have no money to pay for an apprentice.
So, you know a lot about locks.
What good is a fine chest without a fine lock? I make my own locks. That way, I can at least be sure I haven't built my chest that sturdy for nothing. A poorly made lock is easy to break, and there are plenty of thieves about in Corinus, especially lately.
Can you teach me how to pick locks?
I don't know whether you can be trusted or not. For all I know, you might be one of those layabouts who only come to town to empty the chests of honest people. I'm not going to teach you anything before I'm convinced that you're an honest fellow.
Can you sell me some lockpicks?
Well, all right, but they won't be of any use to you as long as you don't know how they work.
Okay, so clearly something fishy is going on here.
Can you teach me how to pick locks?
I don't know whether you can be trusted or not. For all I know, you might be one of those layabouts who only come to town to empty the chests of honest people. I'm not going to teach you anything before I'm convinced that you're an honest fellow.
Okay, so he's a very important source of very important skill.
What if I want to start an apprenticeship with one of the other masters here?
All right, I shall give you my approval. But you had better get yourself the blessing of the gods first. Say, are you a man of faith?
Yes, a most humble servant, Master Thorben.
Then go to Vatras, the priest of Adanos, and have him give you his blessing. He will tell you where you can find a priest of Innos. You should get his blessing too. Once you have received the blessing of the gods, I shall vote for you.
How about your approval, Master?
Has Vatras given you his blessing?
Not yet.
Then I don't know why you're asking me again. You know my terms.
What do you know about the Paladins?
Not much. They arrived by ship 2 weeks ago from the mainland. Since then, they have withdrawn to the upper end of town. Nobody here really knows exactly why they have come. Many are afraid of an attack by the orcs. I suppose, however, they are here to quell the farmers' rebellion.
Do you know anything about the peasants' rebellion?
Rumor has it that Onar the landowner has hired mercenaries to keep the king's troops from breathing down his neck. He was probably tired of having to throw his harvest along with his livestock at paladins and militia. All we notice of this in town is that the food prices keep rising. Onar's farm lies far to the east of here. We wouldn't know if there's any fighting going on there. And if you want to know more, ask the merchants in the marketplace. They get around the island more than I do.
Before I go out again, so I can skin those wolves here.
Damn it. What do you want?
Some good for him, but don't have any skills, so. So I know if I arrest
He had
Count,
better shut up.
so that's one
And
of the
he
ways
works
in.
all day too.
Arrest him, I think.
That's what
The wound will come to fight you, and then let's say get to the city. Okay.
He never would have thought of that himself.
So why won't they listen to me?
What can I do for you?
What are you selling?
I can offer you everything you need to survive in the wild. Weapons, torches, provisions, even armor. I still have a special piece in stock. Double hardened armor of snapper leather, still unused. Interested?
Oh, it's very expensive.
Show me your wares.
I just want to steal it. It's more. It's quicker.
What do you know about paladins?
Since these bastards have come to the city, I've had nothing but trouble. The last time I was headed for the upper end of town, the guards flat out stopped me and asked me what was my business there.
And?
Of course they let me in. I had my shop in the city when most of those pompous asses were still chasing pigs with wooden swords. And yesterday, the bastards came and confiscated half of my goods.
The paladin seized your goods.
Everything I had stored in the backyard. They simply posted a guard in front of the entrance to the yard. If I'm lucky, they won't take everything. At least they might leave the armor here.
Okay, so now you find out that there are goods there protected by a guard, and you can take that armor. Well, you can go in there after you're one of the militia. You can just say you want to stock up. But when you are militia, you already have a better armor, unless you really need it.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
So it's better to go
What?
steer it before.
What are you going to do there?
I've got an important message.
Well, well. Have you tried getting past the guards?
I don't see why I should even try.
You're probably right. I don't know how important your message is, and it's none of my business. But even if you told them that a ship full of orcs just anchored in the harbor, they'd send you away. Because they have their orders.
So can you help me get into the upper quarter?
It seems to be really important to you. The question is, how important is it to you?
What are you getting at?
I can help you. After all, I'm one of the most influential people here. But it'll cost you.
Help doesn't come for free.
How exactly can you help me?
Quite simple. I'll use my influence to see to it that one of the master craftsmen here takes you on as an apprentice. As such, you'll practically be a citizen of the city and can enter the upper quarter. Besides which, you'll earn something while you're at it.
What are you asking for your help?
100 gold pieces.
That's a whole damn lot.
Take it easy. It isn't your gold I have in mind.
But
in principle, it's my gold. Gritta, the carpenter's niece, hasn't paid what she owes me in ages. But the little brat is constantly running around in new clothes. That means she has the money. I'd like to beat it out of her. But Master Thorben, the carpenter, is also a very influential man. Get me the money and I'll help you.
Where can I find this Gritta?
Like I said, she's the carpenter's niece. His house is down the street, the last house on the right before the smithy.
Where could I sign on as an apprentice then?
Basically, with any master here on the main street. That would be Harrod the smith, Bosper the bowmaker, Thorben the carpenter, or Constantino the alchemist. One of them is bound to take you on. But it's important that the other masters agree. That's always been the custom here in Corinus.
Why don't you take me on as an apprentice?
I would, but the other masters wouldn't agree. I just recently took on another apprentice.
How do I get the approval of the other masters?
You just have to convince them. Go and talk to them. But if more than one of them is against you, you don't stand a chance, so behave yourself.
Is there another way to get into the upper quarter?
Perhaps. If I think of anything, I'll let you know.
Help me sign on as an apprentice with one of the masters.
One thing at a time. First fulfill your part of the deal and bring me the gold.
Okay, so how one money whether to go mainly or range or magic, but I think I'll just go mainly because I think it's the best in this game. The best way. Okay, so I read that was not much to start with.
It's really not my problem. That was quite obvious.
It's interesting that Bosper was my first choice when I played, and then I played it again a few times and it was Harrow. But Bosper is the most welcoming of the masters.
Welcome to my shop, stranger. I am Bosper. I craft bows and trade in furs. What brings you to Corinus?
Show me your wares. I'm looking for work.
I could use a new apprentice. The last one just gave up his job 2 days ago. Do you know anything about hunting then?
Well,
I could teach you how to skin animals. I'll pay you well for every skin you bring me.
Why did your apprentice give up his job?
All he said was that it had become too dangerous out there. If you're really interested, then you can ask him yourself. His name is Bartok. He's probably hanging out near Corrigan's Tavern. Go through the underpass from the smithy, then you're headed straight for it.
I need to get into the upper quarter.
Where the paladins are? Forget it. You need to be a respected citizen here, or at least hold a decent job. As a stranger, you stand no chance of getting in.
What if I want to sign on with one of the other masters?
Balderdash. Harrod and Matteo already have apprentices. Constantino the alchemist is a loner, and he hasn't taken an apprentice in years. And as for Thorben, everyone knows he's dead broke. He probably couldn't even pay you. I, on the other hand, am in urgent need of an apprentice, and I pay well too. But no matter where you want to sign on, you need the approval of all other masters from the lower part of town.
Will I get your approval to sign up with a different master?
All right, you shall have my approval, but on one condition. Work for me, at least for a short time. That way, you can find out for yourself whether you like my craft or not. And who knows, maybe you'll end up liking it, and you'll stay with me. If you're good enough to sign on with me, you're also good enough for all others here.
I want to start as your apprentice.
Before I take you on, I need to know, of course, whether you're any good at all.
What do you want me to do for you?
I will teach you how to skin an animal, and you will bring me, let's say, half a dozen wolf skins. Then I'll know that you have learned your trade. If it doesn't take you forever, and if the skins are in acceptable condition, I will take you on if you like. Or, you can start with one of the other masters, if that's what you really want.
Teach me how to skin animals.
Right. Listen, it's quite easy, really. You take a sharp blade and cut open the animal's belly. Then make a few small incisions on the inside of the legs, and you can peel off the skin. Bring me the wolf skins and we shall see.
About the wolf skins?
We had agreed on half a dozen, but you've still got time. Go and get those skins.
I don't believe this is going to change.
Will it ever change?
Hey! Can you give me something to eat?
Here, take this. You're a good lad.
And it's interesting that after you become something, you become either a novice or a militiaman or a mercenary, then they...
Hey! Have you got anything else for me to do?
I don't. But you can ask my wife or the boys in the fields. Maybe they need some help.
Yeah, she tells you that.
Have you got...
She tells you that you've got enough money to afford your own food. So now I can fight here. Get some wolf skins. Which I wasn't fighting the wolves because I wanted to be able to get the skins first. And well, the skins are the main attraction because if you want contacts, you can just sell them for full price. Otherwise, you can also get teeth from them eventually, but it's a bit late. Evil wolf.
Nothing there. Nothing to plunder.
Okay. Exciting spot, my secret. Okay, and now before I get to so much to farm for experience.
Nothing to be had there.
So nice to go into an area which was crowded with enemies before, to be able to find them. Very satisfying. And I'm gonna go to Zardas and then into the city. So satisfying, like if you do games with instant gratification, you're gonna do something with something that you don't get something quickly, but the something that you get is meaningless. You don't work for it. There was the system of restriction and being able to do something later. Actually, this gives a lot of satisfaction. And now I can go hunting with the driver. Just yet. And you can get the wolf skins yourself pretty easily. I want to learn. I'm not sure if I need to first have the go out hunting with that guy. The quest is still active for wolf skins. Because before going into that area, I would first want to meet one of the other hunters and learn about taking teeth and other things, and blood from enemies. I like to be in the city for a while longer. So nice they start doing something here, and then something you start doing something else. Just keep on going.
Hey, you!
Okay, so now when you go into town, less stuff. Okay, so it's so nice that after you go into the city, some things change. So Caragon moves, Lester moves, you can talk to Zardos.
Hey! Are you still exhausted?
And how? I told Zardas everything.
So that's the trigger. If you get into the
Now I'm
city,
going to sleep for a while.
Lester's gonna be here.
Like 1 or 2 days. Or longer.
Very interesting.
Hey! Have you talked to Lester yet?
Yes, I have peppered him with questions. He was able to tell me a lot, but he is completely exhausted. It's almost a miracle that he survived this escape at all. I have sent him to bed for now.
What did he tell you?
Nothing good, I'm afraid. He has seen not only a dragon, but also men in black, hooded cloaks.
And?
If these men exist, then their presence will pose a possible threat. And I don't like that. Here, take my ring. It will protect you against magic.
So actually, if you do this, it's a bonus for experience and a bonus for the ring if you find less than a 7.
I've been to town.
And? Were you able to talk to the leader of the Paladins?
Well, they won't let me see him.
Nonsense. There must be a way for you to see him. If all else fails, enter the monastery and become a magician. That might be considered morally questionable, but it would get you what you need. If you were a magician, he would certainly have to see you.
Hey, you! So what should we do next?
We shall proceed as planned. There's no other way. You can go get yourself the Eye of Enos, and I shall keep looking for answers.
Let's see how much money you got. No, but not the rest. No way, okay. Not good. The armor. Not having that armor at the beginning is a real treat. But for that, you have to do Master Torben's plus. Well, you can make quick money by betting on yourself in the arena a few times. That's having yourself some money. So, really need money for everything. No. You don't buy weapons, you want to find the best weapons in nature anyway, so you can just wait and do everything in a certain order. Healing is free, so then you can just go and heal yourself. And nothing more fish, that's it. Okay, so nothing more fish. Safely go. So, talk to doctors, get healed, go and have a fight with the duelist, get some money, then pay off Greta's debt. Really love how missions are intertwined here, and then steal the armor, and then I could just venture out of town on the other side.
Huh. Move along.
I love his accent.
What's up?
Listen, you now have access to the city, but that doesn't mean you can do whatever you want around here. If you don't stick to the rules, you'll lose all your rights here. I don't believe this is gonna change.
Really? How interesting.
Can only wait and see. I've heard a thing or two.
Can you heal me?
Adanos, bless this body. Free it of its wounds and strengthen it with new life. and the beast waged war upon the land of Adonis.
I hardly know who to believe these days.
And you gotta watch out for that.
It's really not my problem.
I don't believe that.
I think it's a perfect time to find him.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
But that's terrible.
This city here, the marina. Some great way to make money.
Never would have thought of that himself.
What are you doing here?
This is my home. But if you mean, what do I do all day? I arrange fights.
You arrange fights?
Every day, from noon until evening. And right here, behind the warehouse in the Harbor District. Home sweet home.
What are the rules for the fight?
Quite simple. All regular weapons are allowed, no bows or crossbows, and no magic. We fight until one of us drops. And as soon as one of us is flat on his back, it's over. Got it? Whoever leaves the ring is out. So if you quit, I win. The stake is 50 gold coins. If you win, you get 100 back. If not, well, then your money is down the drain. Got it?
Yep. You live behind the warehouse?
It's only temporary. When you have as much gold as I do, you can afford a little luxury. I was a drill instructor in the army, but I left that bunch to seek my fortune in adventure. Now I've wound up in this shithole. My last 100 gold pieces went to the guards at the city gate. So, I'm seeing to it that I come into money again. I even had to sell my sword.
To whom did you sell the sword?
I swapped it with a trader in the marketplace for some stuff. The guy's called Jorah. The torches and the bit of meat that he gave me are long used up.
He isn't likely to give me the sword for nothing.
It's an old sword. He won't want much for it. Just think of the money as an extra stake for the fight.
Can you train me?
If you really want to learn how to fight, then go up against me. The lesson is no extra charge.
What do you know about the war against the orcs?
There's not much to tell. The war's been going on for too long. The country people are starving. Everywhere there are peasant revolts that are put down mercilessly by the king. But there's just too many of them. If the war doesn't end soon, the realm will fall apart.
Sticks with the rest of the Gothic thing.
Hear ye, inhabitants of
I want to
Viridian.
fight against you.
By the explicit order
Do you have
of the
50
Honorable
gold
Lord
pieces?
Hagen, the following decree is hereby
Here you are.
enacted.
We
From
have
this
a
moment
new
onward,
challenger.
Lord
The
Andre
bets are
will
placed.
take the supreme
Are you
command
ready?
of our militia. All the
Come
citizens
here.
of this city
Then
who
let's
have
see what
martial
you can
skills
do.
At their disposal are herewith urged to join. And now,
Show him! Show him! That's the ticket. Give it your all. Don't show him now. Don't show him now. Give it your all. Show him. Not bad.
hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus.
My
By the
head.
explicit order of the
Oh,
Honorable
man.
Lord Hagen,
You
the
packed quite a
following
punch.
decree is
Here's your
hereby
100
enacted.
gold pieces.
Due to the
You've
general
earned them.
situation,
And one
the
more thing.
forest and
No one
wilderness
talks
near
about
the
what
city
goes
are to
on
be
behind the
avoided for your
warehouse.
own
The
protection.
militia puts everyone who does the slightest thing here behind bars. And those boys don't like to see betting on fights.
Can you train me?
I keep my word. I'll teach you everything I know, provided you have the necessary experience.
Train me as a sword fighter. I want to fight against you.
Nah. Before I go up against you again, I need a better weapon. I had to sell my sword a few days ago. With that, baby, I'm unbeatable. If you get it back from me, I'll take you on again.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinthus, by the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following...
I love these special, just let it beat up someone. Okay. So now there's a quest here in the harbor, a very nice one, about hypnosis and amnesia. So
Ah, you've come just in time. I'm in need of an assistant for a magic experiment. I'm sure you're eager to do me a favor for science's sake.
Easy, my friend. First tell me what this is all about.
I have developed a new spell, a spell of oblivion. I've already successfully carried out a few practical applications, but I don't have time to conduct one final test.
What's in it for me if I help you?
I could teach you how to brew potions. I know the recipes for healing and mana essences, and for potions of great speed.
Tell me more about the experiment and the spell.
The spell serves to make somebody forget various events. So far, I have only found it to work when the person in question is angry, for instance. If he has been knocked down or robbed. Even if he has only witnessed such a deed, he will scratch it from his memory.
So I'm supposed to knock somebody down and then put a spell on him?
Yes, I think you get the point. But to make somebody angry, it is enough to attack him. You don't have to knock him down. So you should pick somebody who's by himself. If there are other people around, you'll just get into trouble with Lord Andre. Also, it makes no sense to cast the spell on someone who's busy attacking you. Wait for the right moment.
All right, I'll try out that spell.
Then take this spell scroll and find yourself a suitable guinea pig. Once you're done, come back and tell me how it went.
okay. I already have one. I'm just gonna attack him and use the spell on him. Oh.
Hey! I've come about Gritta.
My niece? What's your business with her? This isn't about money, is it?
She owes 100 gold pieces to the merchant Matteo.
Tell me this isn't true. Ever since that little piece of work moved in with me, I've had nothing but trouble. She's in debt with practically every single merchant in town. I had to borrow 200 gold pieces from Lamar, the moneylender, just to settle her debts. And now this. Gritta should be in the house. Go ahead, ask her. But I tell you this, she doesn't have a single gold piece.
We shall see.
Da, eu sunt gata oricând, eu mă opresc și gata. Am făcut mai devreme, m-am pregătit.
And so he made Enos to leave
Yun ang bubat. Sa tiwa mo.
so that he might restore it to the human if the beast should return.
What do you want, stranger? If you've come to beg, I must disappoint you. I am a poor widow. My name is Greta. Ever since my husband died, I have been running the household for my uncle Thorabin.
How's it going?
Same as always, but I don't want to complain.
How's it going?
Same as always, but I don't want to complain.
I used the Oblivion quest before on some random people, and now I use the Oblivion spell on Ingvar himself at some point. Well, if I do it here, it's part of the quest.
Mateo sent me. You still owe him some gold.
He wants his money? What for? The goods he delivered were flawed, bad fabric, and bad seams. And did you look at the colors? Those are not the colors I ordered. That's fraud, that is. Let me tell you, back when my husband was alive, he wouldn't have dared to do that. Oh, my poor husband. Such a good man he was. Handsome, hardworking, a gentleman of the old school. We had it all. Wealth, happiness. Sometimes we were even invited to high society events. The festivities, all the beautiful clothes and hairdos, the fine dining and civilized conversations. Everything was better back then. No one would have dared to humiliate the heart of a poor widow with such ridiculous claims. Whatever shall I do? My pension is barely enough to make ends meet, and times are getting even rougher. One sees it everywhere. People must scrimp and save. It's been weeks since the last ship came to town. My husband was the captain of a merchant ship. Actually, he even owned the ship. From his long journeys, he always brought me presents. Exquisite fabrics from the mainland, precious spices from the southern countries. Most people haven't even heard of these things. But then, one day, I got the tidings that the Greta had sunk. That was the name of the ship. My husband called it that out of love for me. I wept and prayed that my husband had survived the disaster. Every day I hoped to hear from him, but all my longing was in vain. May Innos have mercy on his soul. May he rest in peace. Since that time, I have been living under these modest circumstances, and now this soulless, callous Mateo is after the last bit of my life savings. Please have mercy on a poor woman. Back when my husband was alive, he wouldn't have dared to do that. Oh, my poor husband. Such a good man he was. Handsome, hardworking, a gentle. Sometimes we were even invited to the fine dining and civilized ridiculous people must from.
Goes on and on. Let's see if there's any secret
Most people haven't. Love. May Inna is after. Such a good. Sometimes the fine.
Cut it out. Where's the gold?
But I don't have the gold. I'm only a poor widow.
I'm gonna pay the sum for you.
You would do that for me? Oh, I knew you weren't a greedy bastard like that Mateo.
Yeah, never mind.
Come back once you've taken care of that. I want to show you my gratitude.
How's it going?
Same as always, but I don't want to complain.
She's not gonna show gratitude in ways you'd expect. You know, she's just gonna give you some stuff.
Enough trouble as it is.
Here's your 100 gold pieces.
You want to pay for her? I'd have preferred it if you'd squeezed it out of her. Still, 100 gold pieces is 100 gold pieces. You've held up your part of the deal.
Help me sign on as an apprentice with one of the masters.
Don't worry. I'll keep my part of the bargain. The other masters will only hear the best about you from me.
Okay.
It was very noble of you to pay for me. I want to show you my gratitude. Here's a bottle of wine which my husband, may Innos rest his soul, brought back from the southern islands. Also, I'm going to spread the news around. At last there's somebody in town whose virtue...
Yeah, never mind.
Oh, this is good. This is a good outcome.
As long as there are men like you in this town, I still have hope that everything will turn out well.
Well, we get some experience, which is more valuable, and then also get a bottle of wine which costs 20, so that's fine.
He never would have thought of that himself.
That's a good
I
thing.
don't believe this is gonna change.
The reward here with lockpicking is the most useful.
Can you teach me how to pick locks?
You have paid Gritta's debt with Matteo. You seem to be a decent fellow. I shall teach you what you want to know. However, I cannot do it for free. I still have a mountain of debts, and I need the money.
Okay.
How much do you charge?
200 gold pieces.
Wow. That's incredible.
Maybe later.
Yeah. They figured that one out.
How about your approval, Master?
Has Vatras given you his blessing?
Not yet.
Then I don't know why you're asking me again. You know my terms.
Okay, so there aren't really many people who can teach you thieving skills, so the advanced ones are just the thieves guild which is hidden in the city. Otherwise you just...
But with it, the trees and animals were also washed away. And
just thought
a
of that.
deep sadness.
I am Hakon, the weapons dealer. Every man should carry a weapon these days, especially when venturing outside of the city walls.
Tell me more about the area around the city.
It's gotten too dangerous out there. Because of the bandits, for one thing. And also on account of wild beasts. Even the animals don't seem to get enough to eat in these crappy times. They're venturing closer to the city all the time.
Do you know anything about the Paladins?
Yes. Those guys are ruining my business. All you can buy in this entire town is a short sword at most. They've helped themselves to anything that's longer than 1.5 feet. In return, I now get to live in the hotel free of charge.
Where do you get your weapons from?
Harad the smith has been my supplier up to now. Now all he does is make stuff for the Paladins. He works for those guys day and night like a madman, without pay. He thinks it's his duty. All I can offer you now is my remaining stock.
What do you know about the bandits?
What do I know about them? They robbed me on my way to the city. And I'm not the only one. They've been up to their tricks for quite a while. The militia tried to track them down, but without any success.
Show me your wares.
Okay, so these are better than what I get. Much better. So, my extra heavy damage. see if he can teach me anything else about hunting, if he can teach me how to take claws. But I remember he wouldn't teach me anything, he was just saying something like, he just knows how to skin them. If you want to learn how to skin, he'll just send you to hospital. Bowmaker. That's really new.
And thus spake Adanos to his brothers, never again shall you walk upon my land, for it is sacred, and so shall it be.
Can I get a drink here?
As long as you have gold, you can even eat here if you want.
Show me your wares. And how's business going?
Ah, don't remind me. Lord Andre is serving free beer at the Gallows Square. Hardly anybody comes here now, except for the rich people from the upper quarter.
What's wrong with them?
Some of those swells can really get on your nerves. Take that Valentino, for instance. I can't stand the sight of him. But I can't pick my customers. I need every coin I can make. The little I had managed to save has been stolen, along with all my silver.
You've been robbed?
Well, it's been a while already. It was still rather crowded that night, and I was doing the round serving beer. I wasn't gone long from behind the counter, but it was long enough for those bastards. I went to see the militia about it. They couldn't find a thing, of course. They prefer to get plastered on free beer.
What is it with this Valentino?
He's filthy rich and has no need to work. And he brags about it to everyone, whether you want to hear it or not. He drinks a lot and always stays until the end. Then, early in the morning, he totters back to the upper quarter. It's the same every day.
What do I have to do to get into the upper quarter?
You need to be a citizen of the town. Go find some work, preferably with the craftsmen in the lower part of town. That would make you a citizen. Well, and if that's still not enough, go talk to Lord Andre at the barracks. Maybe he'll let you join the city guard. They can go into the upper quarter, too.
Everyone is to begin training in the skills of combat immediately and to arm himself appropriately.
I can do the quest with him to go and hunt even after I give the skins to Bosco.
Hey! How's it going?
You're not from around here, are you? Never mind. Neither am I.
Where did you hang around before?
In the woods, hunting scavengers and wolves, together with some hunters. But I gave it up. These are dangerous times. There's a lot of riffraff running around out there.
Where can I find the other hunters?
We had our camp outside near the tavern halfway to Onar's farm. But I don't know whether there is anyone left in the camp now.
Okay, so it's nice that he actually directs you to a camp where there are other hunters, yes. Now I remember I forgot before about Dragomir, so yes, you're gonna find a hunter there, Dragomir, and then you're gonna find another hunter close to Onar's farm, and the guy knows everything, and he's got a simple quest for you to do.
Can you teach me something about hunting?
I can teach you how to sneak properly and how to handle a bow.
Okay, sneaking is useful.
Why don't we go hunting together?
With two, it isn't so dangerous, that's true. Do you know anything about hunting then? I mean, do you know how to skin an animal?
Yes.
All right, but I want to see 50 gold pieces. For that, you can keep the skins and sell them to Bosper. That's a fair deal, isn't it?
Later. Bosper said you used to work for him.
Yes, I did, but he was only interested in his blasted hides. I told him how dangerous it's gotten out there. He didn't really listen to me. Well, anyway, he paid well. I can't complain about that.
Can you tell me anything else about him?
Vosper had one of his bows stolen recently, in broad daylight. Some guy just waltzed into his store, took a bow, and left. The thieves are getting more and more brazen.
So hunters have good bows if you can steal it from them. Buy one.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus.
Go hunt some wolves. They're on the way to the other hunters anyway, so no one here can teach me about teeth and claws and wings, but I can learn by going to Onar's farm, so I'm just gonna clear the way. It's not a for the skins, and I get my money, which is a lot. And, so I get whatever the skin I get. Just a bit of money, yes indeed. Gothic 2 is the best game in the Piranha Bytes series. So for me, my favorite was, I would say, was Reason 1. But playing Gothic 2 again, it's very similar. Somehow Gothic 2 is a bit more refined and larger. Save here.